Hello, what's going on? Another GM facepalm video. This one is going to be very emphasized on the facepalming. I have ran book 4 for Agents of Edgewatch, The Adventure Path. Assault on Hunton Lodge 7. This is going to be a review for that, possibly going into the 5th book, and the ultimate conclusion of why I'm not going to run Pathfinder. So let's get started. Chapter 1, The Noxious Retort. Chapter 2, Jeffrin's Legacy. Chapter 3, A Wonderful Time in Horrorland. So, The Noxious Retort, there's a battle that immediately happens at the beginning of this book at the Sanctuary of Pre-Science. Pretty nice action just to get right into it. None of the events are given to you beforehand or a quest given to you. You're just all of a sudden at this place, and you are caught in the middle of a fight that completely surrounds and almost overwhelms you, perhaps. And in the midst of combat, if you want, you can give them glimpses of the weeks leading up to this, the dialogues that took place, if you wish. But you fight a lot of alkalites and chemists. You go into this sort of chemical con, if you will. A lot of role-playing elements there. The maps are pretty cool. Quite a few deadly traps. I think it's when you get into chapter 2, trying to urge the players to get to this lodge to hold Flackfatter there until they can decide what they want to do with him, what district is going to take precedence and responsibility. So some of the political powers that be, sort of some infighting, trying to decide who has the authority to take Flackfatter into custody. So you have a bit of time here with him and this lodge that you're supposed to protect. There's some issues with that because what if the PCs just want to go somewhere else? What if they don't want to go to this lodge? What if they just, they just put it as this is a neutral ground that neither political affiliation has any ties to this place. So it would be the best area to hold him during their time of coming to a conclusion on this. I want to say that Lesser Death is a potential total party killer. Having survived that, then you move on to chapter 3 with Horrorland, which, if you're familiar with the Horror cards, the deck anyway, there's some elements of that come back into play here. If you experience the module, the Heroine, you get to play with some of those events again, some of the characters that are brought to life from those cards. It was pretty interesting, but I gotta say, this game system is getting very redundant. The mechanics are not working out. The party keeps going against creatures that are CR 3 or 4 levels higher than their party level, and the ACs of the monsters are incredibly high. Their numbers to hit are astonishing. Their saves are astonishing. We're talking about a creature that would need like a -4 to fail. That's obviously not going to happen. So you're counting on the critical miss. You're counting on that natural 1. And the probabilities of that are incredibly high. And that's just wrong. You shouldn't have your players in your group where their spellcasting just never seems to go off, never comes into play because they can't get the monster to fail on any of its saves. It's extremely rare for these monsters to fail. So your only option is to go up and attack. So spellcasters become just about useless. Sure, you can buff buff your party, but as far as debuffing, battlefield control, any of that kind of stuff, it's just you're not having any utility there. The monsters usually almost always save, except for that time when they roll a 1. And I mean, you got like plus 24, plus 26, on some of these rolls, whether they're attacking, saving. It's just very, very difficult. I don't know why all the bestiary listings have these numbers that are incredibly inflated. And talking to some people on the forums saying, well, bosses, spells don't affect them at all. Okay, but I'm still having problems with non-bosses, or not even with sub-bosses. I'm just having this with regular encounters. The rules are broken. Incredibly so. And this brings me back to the Mythic playbook, Mythic Adventures, how they just rush this shit out and the mechanics do not work. And then there's nothing to fix it. Sure, you can go for third-party publisher that has a couple options, a couple things you can fix, but these problems all stem back from first edition, where high-level play doesn't work at all. You have characters when they go to fight the final bad guy, in this case Barzillai Thrune, and in one round he does 400 damage. That's Barzillai Thrune's like total amount of health. So in one round for one character, he completely takes him out with all the multiple attacks. And then the party's like, well, that's it? Yeah, that's it. I can't do anything else. I was in the throes of casting a Pit Fiend. Sure, I could have maybe had the Pit Fiend show up beforehand. Maybe that would have helped slightly, but maybe that would have only gone on for another round. And then kaput. Well, why don't you double his hit points? That still won't work. He'll still only last a round. Because someone else will attack, and someone else will attack. 400, 300, whatever hit points later, it's down again. Well, maybe you should quadruple. Now we're getting into the realm of, well, let's just make these numbers up, and we'll just add anything we want. I can't alter all the mechanics for the game because the game is just broken. And I'm experiencing that again in 2E, where the stats for the monsters are just ridiculous. The people in my group are not having a lot of fun. The creatures are always saving, the creatures are always hidden, and it's usually always crits too, because plus 10 over their AC, when they have these plus 24, plus 25, whatever to hits, I mean, it's insane. It's literally insane. So I'm done with Pathfinder. I'm moving on to 5th edition. I gotta say, it's pretty nice. I have all the books I've been collecting for a while, and I've been running Icewind Dale, Rime with the Frostmaiden, and I gotta say, it's fantastic. There's so many maps out there available. There's so many creatures and items that you can draw from so many points of inspiration. And least of all, the mechanics work. They're not broken. So, fuck you, Lisa Stevens. Fuck you, Paizo. I love the shit out of you guys. I've been with you since 2012, running adventure paths every week. for all those years, and I gotta say, you guys just can't get your shit together. So, 5th edition it is. So, this review has taken a strange turn of events, and I gotta say, going into Book 5, Agents of Edgewatch, The Belly of the Black Whale, my group doesn't want to propose that they're more corrupt than the allegations that are proposed to them. So now I can't run the trial. They won't run away. They won't flee. They have no interest in freeing Wenzel from the Black Whale. They don't want to talk to Neogamo. Don't want to have anything to do with them, or the Edgewatch agents that met them in the prison. So most of that has to be scrapped or entirely rewritten. And that is where I left off at the beginning of Book 5, realizing the mechanics are broken, the story is broken. This Let's Be Cop campaign, it's just not working at all. So that's it. That's all I got. So from here on out, I'm going to be posting 5th edition adventures as far as the reviews of such, and the adventures and stories and some homebrews. I joined D&D Beyond. I got map tools going, and I gotta say, it's easy to prep for. It's very easy to prep. The combat is stimulating and fun. Some people say, well, all you do is attack or cast. What else are you gonna do? There are so many options that you can do with dodging, disengaging, dropping prone. I mean, there's just so many actions in combat that don't rely on just attacking. Help. So, use a magic item, use a special ability. There's so many things that you can do. And now with all the other books, you know, they took a while to come out through the years. There's so many options, a bevy of options. That could go with the whole versatility and variety that Pathfinder is or was known for. That's all I got for today. See ya.